right? Because if you're just like right now, you're enthusiastic because you're excited about this conversation, right? And that enthusiasm.
And I am, and forgive me, I'm looking away because I wanted to pull up your website. I don't want you to think I'm off looking at email right now. For those of our podcast listeners, I'm on screen and I'm looking now to my right because I have 3 screens up, and I wanted to be respectful of our guests. So I thought I had his website up. Now I do. We're gonna show that. Well, I'll bring it up now as we speak.
Yeah.
But continue chatting,
So,
David. And then for those interested, if what he says sounds interesting to you, he is graciously giving away a couple of free reports to help with improving your skills of copywriting from A to Z, plus Ideas Unlimited. And we'll show that again, but I want to bring you full screen. Forgive me for interrupting you. Go ahead.
That was a good interruption. Thank you. So, to some extent, it's a matter of what I teach people, right, is getting in touch with what's interesting to you and also getting in touch with your own inner persuader, right? Because I'm sure you're perfectly capable of persuading your partner to do things, to go to this restaurant or that restaurant, right? To go to this
sometimes.
movie. Yeah, sometimes, right? But when you do that, you don't sit down and go, oh, this is so boring. I got to figure out how to build persuasion. Should I start with an interesting story or a startling fact? No, you know your partner, right? And you know how to persuade them and what to talk to them about. It's the same thing with anything. It's the same thing with copywriting. It's got to come from inside. It's got to come from your own natural ability to persuade. If you were sitting across the table and talking to someone and say, hey, you got to check out this thing where it talks in different languages. It's so exciting and you should do it because A, you're going to learn a whole lot. B, your jaw's going to drop and it'll be really cool. And you'll be able to send it to your friends and you could use it, right? You're going to be able to, use it for yourself. But we sit down to write and we're kind of like, you should go visit this is very interesting because we're bored. We're not in touch with that inner passion. So that's really the first thing, right? Is to get in touch with that. And maybe that means dictating instead of writing. Because as soon as we pick up a pen, as soon as we sit in front of a computer, we get into a whole different mindset of, okay, I'm copywriting now.
I do find it's easier for me and I get a better result if the first draft is dictation. Part of it is, even though I took typing in junior high school and high school, I never learned how to type. I peaked at 23 words a minute. Right. I also do a lot of misspellings. And as I'm sure you stress to all of your students, the more your copywriting sounds like the human language speaking and conversational and less structured with long sentences, the better. So I find it's just better to dictate the first draft. This morning, for whatever reason, I didn't. I did type it out without copy, but typically I do try to dictate it first. And quick comments from Dr. Sunny is joining us today. Have you already touched on the impact of AI on copywriting? Well, Sunny, we are talking about that now, but you have any additional questions for our guest, David Deutsch, let us know.